Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is Dr. Ghost and today we are back on World of Warships Legends, and today we are going to be doing a top 5 list of my favorite American ships. Yeah, my favorite American ships. Now, I know it's been a minute since I've done a video. I haven't actually done a video in like almost 2 weeks. And don't worry, there's a reason for that. It's because I've just been busy in real life. Just been working, doing stuff, and honestly haven't been doing much video games. Yeah. But don't worry, I would not miss coming on here and doing an American video because, you know, it is the 250th anniversary of the United States Navy, the greatest navy to ever exist. Now, there's some people out there who will say, well, actually, Dr. Ghost, the British Royal Navy is the best navy to ever exist. Yes. Okay. How did that work out for y'all? Yeah, you guys had a nice run for a couple hundred years, but it's our fucking turn, okay? And we're gonna keep it going, hopefully, forever. America's Navy is the best navy in the world, currently. It has been since World War II. The British Royal Navy lost its superiority at the end of World War II when they started scrapping a bunch of their ships, when they went into debt, you know, British things. So, yeah, and currently right now the Royal Navy has more admirals than ships, if I recall, which is pretty fucking embarrassing. Look it up. There's actually a video, I think, by, not Drac NFL, but, I think there's a video by, Mark, Productions, I forgot. Mark Felton Productions, I think. He made a video about talking about how there's more admirals in the Royal Navy than there are ships, which is crazy. The British Royal Navy has fallen off. But today, though, we're talking about the American Navy, all right? The best navy to ever exist currently, all right? Yeah, so let's go right into my top 5 list of my favorite American ships, starting off with number 5, the Omahas. A lot of people, again, I have been preaching this on this channel for the past 2-3 years I've been doing YouTube on here, okay? The Omahas are just fantastic. I don't care what anybody says. Yes, they are floating citadels, but what cruisers aren't floating citadels at this tier? Every cruiser gets fucked up. Omahas, Furitacos, you know, you name it. British light cruisers, British heavy cruisers. Every cruiser at this tier gets fucked up by citadel hits. And a lot of people forget, the Citadel's not ginormous on the Omaha. I mean, yeah, it's pretty large. You're gonna get Citadel'd if someone looks at you funny, but it's only in the center of the ship. It's right under the smokestacks. If people hit you too far forwards or too far in the back, they're just gonna overpen you. The problem with the Omaha, and the only problem with the Omaha, is its armor scheme. Okay? Everything else about the Omaha that nobody seems to talk about is the fact that it has amazing guns. It has, by the way, this is a trend with all American ships having amazing guns. It's just how they are. But yeah, they have freaking amazing 6-inch guns, and they are rapid reloading. They shoot out to 15.5 kilometers on my build. And if you build into it, man, these things are just HE spamming demons. They just set fires left, right, and center. I've got like a 15% fire chance on my build. And the muzzle velocity is decently high for an American cruiser, 914 meters per second. That's not too bad. So these shells will go out there pretty quick. And you will hit people and you will set fires. And it's nasty. This thing's a nasty little eye explosive spammer. And another thing about the Omahas is their maneuverability. Their maneuverability is fantastic. These things can dodge. These things can weave. If you utilize your range, if you utilize your maneuverability and your agility, you're basically untouchable in an Omaha if you know what you're doing, if you keep your head on a swivel. And if you just continue to cycle your 6-inch guns and just burn everything to the ground and back, send everybody to hell, give them a little taste of napalm in the morning, you're going to have a great time. These things are just fun. Omahas are fun if you know what you're doing and you're not just sailing in a straight line broadside like a ding-dong. Alright? Those kind of players give the Omahas a bad rep. But, yeah. Also, the Rattlehead, another Omaha. There's just so many of them. Let's see. There's the Marblehead, my favorite. I love my Marblehead. This thing's my favorite out of all the Omahas. You also got the Russian Omaha. Where is it? The Murmansk. Which is way, way over here. Because I have so many American ships I gotta go through to get to my Russian ships. Yeah, the Murmansk, also. A Russian Omaha, which has even better agility and slightly better armor piercing because Russia. So there you go. But yeah, the Omahas are just great. And yeah, Omaha. I love this thing. This thing's a beast. I don't care what anybody says. If you think Omahas are bad, you're bad. Skill issue, go play Fortnite or something and go cry there. I don't know. Anyway, let's move on to my number 4 pick on this top 5 list of my favorite American ships. This one being the Tier 6 Premium American Destroyer, the USS Kidd. The Kidd is one of my favorite destroyers in the game. You guys can probably see my 1.9 million Elite XP in this thing. This thing's a beast. It's a gunboat. It's fun. It's a gunboat fun boat. Just rapid reloading, 5-inch guns. The DACA potential with these things. Overall, all of the American destroyers, most of them, just amazing. These things are great gunboats. Now, obviously with the release of the Pan-European destroyers a while back and whatnot, they're kind of getting overshadowed, and I think they need a buff. They all should get heals. At least the Kidd has a heal, but I think all tech tree American destroyers like the Benson, the Farragut, the Mahan, the Fletcher, they all need heals because there's so many of these broken bullshit fantasy European ships and whatnot that are just better than American DDs. Don't know why, but that's a topic for another video I might go on about. But again, still though, these things are great gunboats. They have a special place in my heart. They're the OG gunboats, right? These things have been around since the beginning of the game, even before the German destroyers were a thing. These American DDs were the top dogs for gunboats out there. And yeah, they still are very good. I mean, if you get in the right positions and if you can catch people, these things are just amazing gunboats, right? Another thing, too, about these American destroyers is they have decent AA, they have decent maneuverability. They're not horrible in terms of their maneuverability. Turning circle, on average, is about 600 to 500 meters, which is pretty decent, nothing crazy. Overall, they're just good. The only area that they struggle in is their torpedoes. Right, especially on Kidd. Kidd torpedoes, not the greatest. You only get one rack. They don't really go out that far. But overall, if you just learn to just utilize guns, it doesn't matter. Torpedoes don't matter. This thing's amazing. If you just utilize smoke screens and utilize island cover and know when to shoot at people when they're not paying attention and just set fires on them and just whittle people down by 1,000 cuts. That's what these things are all about, and they're super fun. I really like them. But for some people, torpedoes and whatnot are, you know, what they enjoy more than guns. And I can understand as a destroyer player. But I'm more of the gunboat kind of destroyer player. So these American DDs overall, but the Kidd's probably my favorite out of them. Just amazing, man. And I'm going to mention these a little bit here soon after this next pick on this list. I'm going to mention another Fletcher-class destroyer. There's going to be 2 Fletchers in this list, because they're just great. They're great destroyers. And also they're so great that other nations have them too. Like I think the Greece people, the Pan-Europeans, they also have their own Fletcher. I think it's the Velos, right? Or the Velos, the Velo. Yeah, the Veles, the Veleth. Yeah, they have their own Fletcher. So they're just great destroyers overall. Actually, they're so good that I think the Pan-European destroyers, or sorry, the Pan-Asian destroyers, they've got like a bunch of American destroyers in here, I think. Where is it? I know they have one. Yeah, the Lo Yang. I say a bunch. They've got one. They've got the Lo Yang, which is one of the best destroyers in the entire game. Lo Yang has amazing sonar. This is a Benson, I believe. So yeah, just great. They're just great gunboats. They're fun, and yeah. That's why Kidd is my number 4 pick. It's such a fun little premium. It makes a lot of money too because it's premium, Tier 6 premium, and it's just fun, man. You got those American smokes that last for an eternity. You got your heals, you got your engine boosts that you can swap out for a little defensive AA and just shoot down planes pretty quick. It's just fun, man. Yeah, give them a try sometime. Now let's move on to my number 3 pick on this top 5 list of my favorite American boats. And this one being none other than the Tier 7 Tech Tree Light Cruiser, the Cleveland. This thing's a fucking demon. Again, it's just a HE spamming unit of a ship. It just dishes out so much high explosive shells. It's got a 5-second reload on my build. If we go take a look at it, 5.6-second reload, and this gets down to even like 4 to 3 seconds if I manage to get all my legendary and epic mods going in the battle. Oh man, this thing just dishes out shitloads of fucking hate. It's not fun for the enemy team. Now there is a downside with this. It does have a kind of a slow muzzle velocity, 812 meters, but again, if you, it actually kind of works though in your favor because American shell arcs, they are really high, especially on the light cruisers. Honestly, all of them are, like on even the heavy cruisers. But the shell arcs kind of work in your favor in some ways because you can lob over islands that people usually wouldn't be able to lob over, and they're sitting there like, what the fuck, dude? Who is shooting over that island at that angle? I am in my Cleveland. That's who. It's just great. These things just have an insane amount of firepower, and that's what I love. I love ships that have a lot of firepower. I think you guys are noticing a trend, right? We mentioned this earlier, how I said, right when I picked the Omaha as my top, my number 5 pick. I was talking about how there's going to be a lot of picks on these lists, and on this list with just firepower, gunpowder. That's what I love. I love my ships that have good gunpowder. And Cleveland definitely has just great guns. 12 6-inch guns. You got a lot of shit to put out. You also have great AA because it's an American cruiser, and American cruisers just have great AA. It doesn't make you, completely invincible though to planes. You still got to watch out because carriers are carriers. They're gonna get you no matter what, even if you have great AA. You can plop a fucking Sea Whiz on your deck, and a carrier's still gonna somehow magically break through your fucking AA defenses and get strikes off. It's just the way it is. But at least you can shoot down some of his planes and make it to where he can't get, hopefully, cross drops and whatnot. And overall, these things are just amazing. And also the utility. The utility with these cruisers is amazing. The reason why? Well, because they have radar. 9-kilometer radar, 30-second duration. Very, 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 very useful to have. You also have decent sonar. Nothing special, though. It's pretty average. It's not like German sonar with like a 5.6-kilometer range and whatnot, but it still is pretty good. 4.5 kilometers almost. And it does come in handy. Great utility with these cruisers, and you also have a heal to heal back some health if you get hit, which you probably end up getting hit here and there. It's just the way it is. Hopefully, though, you don't get dev struck, right? Hopefully, you just utilize your islands, utilize cover, don't be the center of attention, and you should be okay for the most part, right? I know I have this camo on. Here's kind of what the Cleveland looks like without the camouflage. It looks pretty good. I mean, I love my American ships. They just look great. They're great looking ships. I think whoever designed these ships they were on crack cocaine when they were designing these. These are good looking boats, man. They're a little boxy, but I don't know. They just look nice, man. Great looking boats. And I just like putting the good old, what do you call this? Stars and Stripes camo. It's our Star Spangled Freedom camo, as they call it. And it just screams America. You know what I mean? So yeah. Anyways, that's my number 3 pick. Cleveland. Great fire starter. And it also has good AP as well. Don't forget, these things have AP, and you can and will fuck people up if you get broadsides with that AP. Don't you worry. Now, we're coming into my top 2. My top 2 on this top 5 list. Number 2 being none other than the Tier 7 Premium American Destroyer, the Black. This is another Fletcher class destroyer. We already had Kidd at number 4. We have now the Black at number 2. The Black is just great. Again, it has the same shit going for it that the Kidd has. It's got great guns, decent AA. But it does have better torpedoes, by the way. It has I think it's like a 13-kilometer, 14-kilometer range on the torpedoes. Yeah, 13.7-kilometer range. And they have a 21,000 maximum damage on these torpedoes. They are very slow, but I find it's actually kind of funny because it works actually for you. People don't see these torpedoes until they're right on them. Like, I hit a surprising amount of these little slow black torpedoes. People call them sea mines for a reason. They're so slow that basically you're not going to see them until they're right out there. And they're going so slow that you think they're going to run out, but they just go forever because they're so slow. It's kind of funny. 0.9-kilometer detection. That's a torpedo detection. So you literally will not see these until they are right on you. And then you're going to have to hopefully dodge them. Otherwise, you're going to take one and it's going to do a fuckload of damage. It's just going to do a lot. It's going to do a lot of fucking damage. And it will hurt. These torpedoes hit like freight trains, okay? So, yeah. Also, again, maneuverability, pretty good. 560-meter turning circle. Right? We have decent stuff right there. But another cool thing that the Black has is radar. Yeah, it's got a little radar. 7.5-kilometer ship acquisition range. Pretty damn good. With a 19-second consumable duration. So that's right, this thing has a radar. And when you combine that with your American smokes, you can just smoke up, pop your radar. Hopefully, your other teammates help you and shoot the person you're trying to smoke radar. And you know, in DD on DD engagements, this is a very good thing to have. Again, though, you got to worry about those fuckers with Fox Flare in their pan-European, destroyers. It's one of those things. Again, when the game keeps going on, we keep getting bullshit boats. It's just wargaming for you. But I miss the days when Black reigned supreme and there was no fucking pan-European fantasy boats out there. But we got to deal with them one way or another. But yeah, either way though, still pretty damn good. As long as you don't get into situations, again, where you're not the complete center of attention and you're isolated and you get fucked by like 2 DDs or something. So, yep, if you just pick your fights well and you open up your guns in the right situations, in the right scenarios, you should have a fun time. These things are great in the right hands. And I love it. It's a great destroyer. That's why it's number 2. And honestly, most of the Fletchers, they're just good destroyers. If you know what you're doing, they have great guns, decent little torpedoes, especially at the higher tiers, like the Benson, the Fletcher, and the Black. They all have long-range torpedoes, and you can stealth torp with them. The only ones you can't really with is the Kidd and the Farragut, and the Clemson. But all the other ones, the Mahan, the Benson, the Black, the Fletcher, you can technically stealth torp with them. They have decent range, and they have good guns, and overall, they're solid destroyers in the right hands, right? Now moving on to my number 1 pick. Notice there hasn't been a battleship yet. There hasn't been a battleship at all in this list. Don't worry, I've got you guys covered. My number 1 pick for the Americans has to be my most played ship and my favorite American battleships. There's 2 of them. But I would have to say my favorite American battleship overall is none other than the Tier 7 Premium American Battleship, the Massachusetts. This thing is an absolute beast. This thing is far and none. I don't care what anybody says. This is the best battleship at Tier 7. It's right on par with like John Bart, and it's right on par with Lennon. Those are obviously a little better, but those are just broken. They're bullshit boats. Again, just magical bullshit. They're just great. But overall, Massachusetts, Alabama, they're very, very, very good battleships. They're both the same class of ship, by the way. Alabama and Massachusetts are both South Dakota class battleships, and they were very good in real life, and they're very good in game. And they're actually, I think, the best battleships in terms of the stats at Tier 7 for the Americans. The Iowas are good, don't get me wrong. They're all right when they want to work, but there's one problem that the Iowas have, and that's maneuverability, and that is how fucking long they are, right? They can't turn worth a fuck, and they get bombarded by everything. And the only saving grace that the Iowas have is their guns. And if their guns don't work, you're shit out of luck. At least with the Massachusetts, you have the agility, you have the armor scheme that's a lot better, you're a lot smaller, you're a lot compact, and you can dodge a lot more shells, and I tend to survive a lot longer. And the Massachusetts, it's my most played ship. I've got 3.5 million Elite XP on this thing. If we go take a look at my statistics here, I've got a 65% win rate in my Massachusetts. I've got an average damage of about 91,000. These things are amazing in the right hands. Statistically speaking, right? If you go look at the specs, there's no category that they're bad in. Literally. Like, that's what I try to bring up, is the Massachusetts and the Alabama. There's nothing they're bad at. They have good guns. They have good secondaries. At least the Massachusetts does. Like, I build my Massachusetts with like a hybrid kind of build, like secondaries and guns. Dude, these secondaries can get out to 10.5 kilometers. And on top of that, you've got those American 16-inch guns. So you got good secondary range, and they're accurate, by the way, because they're American secondaries. They have really good accuracy. On top of that, you got those 16-inch 45 caliber guns that can absolutely fucking wallop people. You also have a great armor scheme. If you take a look at the armor, again, just, you're a very compact ship. It looks big, but in reality, it's not as long, and it's not as like wide. It's not as wide. It's not as long and narrow as the Iowas are. The problem with the Iowas is they're so fucking long, and they struggle to dodge and turn. They just eat so many pens. At least with these South Dakotas, they're a lot more compact. They don't have a lot of extra length on their bow and stern, and you can turn and dodge and whatnot and weave a lot better than in the Iowas. And you don't believe me, look at this maneuverability. A 700-meter turning circle radius. The Iowas have like a 900 or 1,000 turning circle radius. It's horrible. And the rudder shift and overall and everything is just decent. It's very decent. Overall, these things have good maneuverability. And it's something that's kind of unheard of with most American battleships, I'll be honest. Most American battleships do not have good agility. The Massachusetts and the Alabama are completely opposite. They are very, very good at just turning and weaving, right? They have good AA as well. And overall, there's just nothing bad about these battleships, and that's why they're my favorite. They are my favorite American battleships in the game. Don't get me wrong, I love all my American battleships, but if I had to pick a American battleship in this game to ride with for the rest of my Legends career, and I could play no other fucking American battleships, I would take out my Sodaks every single time. They are the best. They're amazing. I love them. And yeah, overall, they're just good, man. And they're premium. They're tier 7 premium, so they make a lot of fucking money. So they're good, and they make a lot of money, which is very, very beneficial. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you guys for watching today's video. Hope you guys did enjoy this little top 5 of my favorite American battleships. And I kind of wanted to do this because it is the 250th anniversary of the United States Navy. The greatest Navy the world has ever seen. Maybe it's not as large as the British Royal Navy was at its peak. But, you know, still, we're the best now. We've got 11 supercarriers that are always ready to go. Obviously, we don't use all of them all at once. We cycle through them. So basically, we have like 2 or 3 out at sea at all times, and then we send them back. And we send out brand new, fresh ones in their place while those 2 or 3 carriers, you know, recuperate and whatnot. And again, I'm not like a Navy guy, technically. I'm not in the Navy, never have been. So I don't know exactly how it works. But we always have carriers out 24/7. Think of that. Floating cities out on the waves 24/7. There's no other nation that is capable of doing that. Sending supercarriers out and about the whole world and never have to really send them back to port. We can keep our carriers out at sea forever because we have a constant supply line for those carriers. We have constant planes coming through. We've got fucking refueling ships and rearming ships and all sorts of things. We have a whole system, and no other Navy has managed to accomplish that. And I think it's just amazing. And on top of that, we've got like 200-something guided missile destroyers. We've got like, I mean, damn, dude, we just got a shitload of stuff going for us. And on top of that, our Navy Air Force is the second best Air Force in the world. Don't forget, the first best Air Force in the world being the United States Air Force itself. We've overall just got the best military in the entire world. Yeah, we may not have the quantity of some of these nations, like for example India, China. Yeah, they may have more troops, they may have more manpower, but they lack the quality that the United States possesses. We put so much fucking money into our defense budget. It's unfathomable. It just is. It's crazy how much of our GDP goes into our fucking defense budget. If there's one nation you don't want to fuck with, it's the US of A in terms of military strength. The last time a nation touched our boats, we dropped the sun on them. And now they're basically using our boats and our planes. And we kind of, you know, it's not a good time to mess with America's boats. It hasn't been since the 1790s when America was founded to deal with pirates. If you guys haven't, go watch The Fat Electrician and go look up the Barbary Wars. That's where it all began. That's where it all began. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm going to go and end it here. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you guys in about a year. Because I seem to not upload anymore. But if you guys did enjoy me just coming on here yapping about American boats, be sure to go down there in the comments. Let me know what you guys think. And yeah, ladies and gentlemen, have a fantastic rest of your weeks. And I will catch you guys on the next one in about 5 years. See you later. Peace.